So are we rolling? I'm from a little town in the UK, and there weren't enough drag queens for me. So I decided, fuck it. I love drag so much. I'm just gonna, and I loved making things. So I started doing drag at fancy dress parties, costume parties, and then I started doing it in like dive bars. But I make video games for a living. I've been doing it for 20 years. And the drag dive bar thing wasn't really my thing, so I figured why not make a video game with drag queen in it. So I decided to put my drag queen persona into my video game, and that's what I'm selling here today. Kitty Powers Matchmaker. It's a dating sim. It's an app, and you can get it on Steam as well.
What do you expect? So you came to DragCon to get your app sold and people to consume it?
Well, yeah, because normally I would promote it in the video games kind of industry and at video game conventions, but I figured since it's got a drag queen in it, and I love drag, and you know it's one of my passions. I feel like I do a pretty good job. I thought, why not bring it to the drag community? And it's a game about matchmaking. It's about love. It's not about death and destruction like you see in most video games. So I figured it would be a pretty good fit with the kind of campy, snazziness and it's pretty accessible. It's spreading, and also it's inclusive. You've got customers in.
The app show you how to play a video? Like, does the app show you how to have better relationships?
It's a game where you run a matchmaking agency, so you're taking clients and you're matchmaking them. But it's based on real, but simplified psychology. So it could help you think about dating in a different way. If you play the game, you'll see that as it evolves and you level up, you're unlocking different traits, and the characters' profiles will become more detailed. So matchmaking them will be a little more complex, but it becomes more fun because you feel like you're learning something about dating.
Now, what drag queen influences your style the most?
Well, it sounds corny, but RuPaul, I've been watching her since the 90s, since Supermodel, and watching her stride down the street in New York surrounded by all those people blew my mind, and I never really thought I could be a drag queen. So when I did become one, it was like my dream, my childhood fantasies coming true.
So, what's your favorite RuPaul song?
Probably Supermodel, but recently I do love You Wear It Well on the new album. I think it's fabulous.
What's your favorite RuPaul catchphrase?
Don't fuck it up.
Isn't drag all about fucking things up and causing a commotion?
True. I mean, RuPaul herself said drag is punk. It's all about breaking the rules. So I think there's fucking it up and there's fucking it up, isn't there? Really? I mean.
So is there a wrong way to do drag at all? I mean, when RuPaul tells people not to fuck it up, what is she really saying?
I think when she says it, she means if you're gonna fuck it up, do it with intention. Do you know what I mean? It's like you can fuck it up but make it look intentional, and then people will buy it.
Own your mistakes.
Exactly.
And what do you think is the biggest mistake people make in relationships?
In relationships, I think it's being in love with the idea of being in love rather than actually waiting and taking things slowly. Because I think people rush into things a bit too often because they get so starry-eyed about the romance thing.
Take it slow.
Yes. Deep and slow.
Deep?
That's what I can say.
So, you're traveling a lot. Are you on any hookup apps yourself?
Oh, I have got a boyfriend. I met him on Grindr. He's gorgeous and I love him to bits.
And what time in the relationship did you reveal to him that you are a drag queen and drag is a very important part of your life?
In fact, let me be honest with you, even when I was dating before I met him, it was amazing to me how many guys didn't care. I think the fact that I own my masculinity as well as my femininity, and when I'm out of drag, I'm kind of a buff dude. I go to the gym.
Oh, really? Let's see, honey. Oh, yeah. Here, flex it out. Flex it for the camera. Look, they like that.
Ooh.
Oh, honey. The legs.
Oh,
Quads
yeah,
here. You're not even padding, honey. I was like... See, I have a drag vision, but I also have muscle vision. You got me all excited.
Oh,
but then now, this is all fake padding. These are all fake muscles.
No.
They're real?
Yeah.
You're like...
These are fake.
Yeah, it's the pecs. You know, like the nice thing about having pecs is you can duct tape them together and then put a cheater.
True, true. But mine are a little hairy and I don't like shaving, so I cover it all up.
Now this is really, what's the hardest thing about like being a guy who lifts weights, who dresses up in drag? I like creating that sort of transformation.
Well, that's what I find really cool about it, because you see so many drag queens who, when they're out of drag, you know, they still seem very feminine, and that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But I want to look the way I want to look when I'm out of drag, and so I go to the gym. But what that means is that I have to be very conscious of my silhouette. So even though I'm tall and I'm kind of buff, I just put heavy padding on my hips and my ass, big tits, you know, and it kind of balances it all out.
I see a lot of like beautiful drag queens at this expo, and it's like sort of making me want to explore my heterosexual side. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't know about. Have you got a heterosexual side?
There's like these hot dudes, and they're also in drag, and I'm like, honey, I don't care what you're wearing, honey, as long as you want to do it with me.
Oh.
You know what? Like, do you take that attitude?
I like men when I'm looking for a man, I'm looking for a man. But I guess.
Does the costume, like some people like knowing that you're a drag queen or wearing a costume is a huge turn off for them. Whereas for me, like, it's not that important either way, you know?
This is what I meant when I said earlier, when I'm finding more and more guys that don't care, because I think more and more people, probably because of Drag Race, realize that this is just a costume, it's just performance.
So drag is a career move now?
For me, I guess so. I mean, I was just a video game developer. Now I'm a drag video game developer. It's like
you're the star of the show.
No. It's all my big ploy to take over the world.
Well, and once you are the dictator of the planet Earth, what will be your first decree?
Stop judging other people and just let everyone do what they want, as long as they're not hurting anyone.
Is that going to stimulate the economy?
Probably not, but you know, we could just all get along, for God's sake. Stop being an asshole.